When you plan a trip across the American frontier, you can't help but research gunslingers that hid and lived near the areas you're traveling. Will I cross paths with any legends of the Wild West? Maybe I parked the climate-controlled, solar-powered super camper van next to where Butch Cassidy tied up his horse and slept next to a campfire. There are echoes of legends all across Utah. Leaving Monument Valley and heading to Moab, we plotted our route through Mexican Hat and Bluff, Utah, and had never heard of Monticello, or that it's at 7,000 feet elevation, where it's colder, and currently being hit by a pretty great snowstorm. Our destination is Moab, home of Canyonlands and Arches, the next two national parks on our Mighty 5 trip. What we never considered was Monticello as a stop.
It is snowing. It sure looks like it. I would like to know the temperature though.
All right, I can put 37.
3,700?
Yep.
Oh, 37. That's for sure snowy. Yeah, this is fresh snow.
With 12 national parks and monuments surrounding the town, we decided to embrace the snowstorm we drove directly into and have ourselves a snowball fight shootout. Well, more like a snowball ambush.
So we left Monument Valley this morning and we're on our way to Moab, and we're anticipating how much snow is up in Bryce right now because they're going to get like 5 days of snow. And I hope Hazel, our van, can actually achieve that and we get there, but we might have to bypass it due to snow, and that's okay. So we got through Blanding, Utah, and it was colder, and then just past Blanding we ran into a lake that was completely frozen over. And so I kept asking my son, I was like, how cold is it outside? And he said, it's 37 degrees. And then we start going up, and I said, buddy, we got a lot of snow coming up. So that scenic area going towards Monticello from the south was incredible. It was a lot of snow, but nowhere to pull off. So we get to Monticello, which is the city above the valleys. I believe that's what it said on the sign. And we had to find somewhere to get him out of the car and absolutely get in the snow. So this is what you end up with when you're from Florida, where we don't get snow. You pull off. He's been running around in this park in Monticello, and this is what happens. So let's get outside and have some fun with him. Oh God, so thick. I didn't expect that. All right, no more snow. Holy cow, this snow is so thick. Okay, so these are never gonna dry. Holy cow. So I'm clearly heavier than you.
No, I fell hard.
Wow. We've been reading about snow, and it says it hasn't been sticking. It's not the case in Monticello. So we're about 50 miles out of Moab, and I bet it's not doing this there. Here you go, free shot. There you go, good one. How good are you about heading it like a soccer ball?
Heading it?
Yeah. Do it. Thank you for the town of Monticello being at the right elevation for a ton of snow. So I'd like to tell everybody that Monument Valley, Zion, Arches was the most important thing. The number one thing was family time, hanging out with this dude. His number one thing was
Snow.
this.
No.
There's Hazel. Hazel knows where the snow is. Hazel got a little dirty. Hazel's awesome. I think this might be Hazel's first time in the snow.
It was Cooper's first time really being in the snow, like in it.
Leaving the winter wonderland of Monticello. Thank you, Monticello, for an amazing stop. Like, you got to break up your trips a little bit, right? So snow is the way to do it. Like, if you can find snow that just pops out of nowhere. It's definitely been cold enough. I thought we were going to get a little bit for Monument Valley. We thought it was, but it was more of rain and dust. And so Cooper was in the back just a minute ago. Snow happened. And how was it?
It was amazing.
It was amazing. Fell in the snow. He knocked me down with a snowball, literally. It's on film. Everybody saw it. And now we're just kind of driving, I would think, downhill at some point, and we're going to get back to red dirt and beautiful desert scenery, which is Moab. And we're very excited to be staying at Dead Horse Point tonight for 3 nights. So check it out. Here we go.
We left Monticello in the storm, and within 20 minutes, we were downhill and back in the desert. Utah climate is unreal and changes very fast. Moab is the center of some amazing national parks. Our home base for 3 days was Dead Horse Point State Park, a small state park about 30 miles from Moab with enormous views. You can try to get campsites at Devil's Garden and Arches. You would be really happy. But Dead Horse Point is epic.
Check it out, everybody. We are at Dead Horse Point State Park. We're here for 3 nights, and we lucked into a Cayenta spot tonight. This massive fog cloud just went through here, so when we checked in, it was completely, you couldn't see anything. And now the sun broke, so I thought it was a good time. Let's check out our site. We are in site number 1 here at Cayenta, and it's a double site. I see that it's for a big bus, but they're fair game, so you can book this if you want to. And it is stunning. The trees here are amazing. There is just beauty all around.
There are viewpoint trails off of the campsites with 1,000-foot drops all around.
We're about halfway to the overlook. We're gonna do the whole walk probably once. We're also gonna go to Dead Horse Point's, the point here in a little while. 6,000 feet about is where we're at. Cooper's unaffected. He runs cross country. He plays tennis. He is awesome. Dad works a lot to pay for tennis, cross country, and all the other stuff my kids do. So we're dedicated to hiking a little bit on this trip, but that is what happens for big guys.
The main viewpoint is incredible. Sunrise and sunset are must-dos, but really any time is a great time. In middays, you may have the point all to yourselves. The beauty of staying at Dead Horse Point State Park is its proximity to Canyonlands. Basically, leave Dead Horse and at the stop sign, turn left. Drive until you hit the visitor center, or in our case, we went to Mesa Arch.
All right, gang, we're here, Canyonlands, USA. And I'm doing the easiest trail we can to wake up, which is the Mesa Arch Trail. It's a beautiful little arch here that I've been waiting to see for a while. It's easy to get to, so there's gonna be a lot of people. But it's not sunny, so the crazy photographers won't be out here. And let's see how fast into this Dad starts panting. So when we looked at this on all trails, easy hike, moderate incline, it checked all the boxes. All right, so this is the Mesa Arch, and this is a cold morning. We had snow last night, a lot of snow en route to Moab yesterday. It's just gonna be snowy all week. I talked to one of the park rangers, and they said the La Salle Mountain Range has gotten the most snow that they've ever gotten so far, and I think Bryce Canyon and Dixie National Forest are pretty close behind there, if they're not surpassed their records. This arch is awesome. It's a very short trail. Even for a big guy like me, it's not that hard. Just gotta pace yourself, know your limits, It's 0.3 miles round trip, 0.6 miles round trip. There's a steady flow of people coming in here, so when you get a window, no pun intended, to get up there and get your photos, be ready, take a bunch of photos. If somebody looks like they're stretching their arm out and doing the arm photos, always offer to take a photo for them, because I mean, who wants arm photos, right? You do that when it's just you by yourself, but if you can help out somebody, they're going to turn right around and do the same for you. So it's not a psychotic arch today, it's just a flow in and out. It's very cloudy. Actually, the sun is trying to poke through a little bit, but this place is bonkers for the morning time, which is sunrise, because the arch glows when the sun hits it in the morning. We're not going to get that this week, because we're getting the other side of weather, which is clouds, cold, snow, sleet, rain, which is totally fine. We're from Florida, we never get to see this stuff, so get busy living, get up here and see the Mesa Arch. It's awesome.
We headed down the hill and towards Arches. Cold, a tad wet, and guess what showed up at Double Arch? The 17-mile drive is really beautiful, even when it's gray.
We're in Devil's Garden at Arches. We're starting from the back and going forward. Or as Drake would say, started from the bottom, now we're here. Anyways. It's a Drake reference. This is a beautiful little place. This is a campground. We're stopping for lunchtime. And Cooper wanted to take a little walk, so we are. It is a little muddy. We've had mist and rain, but Dad loves this trail already. Why, Cooper? Because it's flat. That's right. The trees are beautiful. I saw the sign that said, "Don't feed the wild animals, I'm ready." All I've seen is a woodpecker so far, and cows. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there that will do a much better job defining what you're seeing, the historical landmarks. We're here for the views. This is pretty incredible. I'm living through you, dude. Be careful, it might be a little slippery. Stay right in the middle.
After lunch, guess what? The sun showed up, and wowza, how things look different when Mr. Sunshine is at Arches. I would say, to take it all in, 2 to 3 days is perfect in Moab, but we had a huge decision to make in the morning. Are we going to head north to Capitol Reef or backtrack due to some huge forecasted snowstorms in that area? We stayed up late that night, finally enjoying what Dead Horse Point is really famous for, the stars. Millions of them. After a restless night and researching every possible weather forecast, we packed up and left super early to go to Capitol Reef.
What's happening? We're rolling in the middle of nowhere.
We decided to at least get Capitol Reef in and make the call if we head to Bryce Canyon after. Join us for our next episode and hopefully Bryce Canyon. Get busy living, y'all.